guys, Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. Thanks for joining us today. I am so excited to talk to you guys today about the 80s. You know, we hear a lot about things we miss, things we love, the best generations and this and that. And I wanted to chime in and tell you about what I think. Which era I believe was the best. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my life right now and I'm so excited for my future. Starting this month, I am putting together some amazing plans for my future. And 2025 is my last year of working. Probably by May or June of this year, I will finalize my plans for the future. It's exciting, so join me for that. And today we're going to talk about the 80s, why I believe they were the best. I'm going to give you some stories about that right after this. All right, I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. I am a Canadian Sri Lankan citizen living in Sri Lanka after living in South Korea for 15 years. I've been working there for 18 years because the last 3 years I've been working online. Today is Saturday morning. It is like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm just heading over to the nail salon to get a manicure pedicure. I always like to have one before I go on vacation because then I don't have to, worry about cutting my nails and stuff like that. And then I'll get another one in about 2 or 3 weeks in Thailand. I'm gonna be spending a month in Thailand and a week in Vietnam. So excited, can't wait. It's like, I'm freaking out, baby, let me tell you. It's 7 days from right now, I will be landing in Thailand. And of course, we're going to do Thai-tastic Sammy with Lady Sarah in Thailand. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Join us for that. Why don't you? Live stream every Sunday morning, Sri Lankan time. Join us for that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to do major live streams in Thailand. There's going to be a lot of live streams in Thailand. So anyway, I was born in 1968, which means in the 80s, I was 13 years old at the beginning of the 80s, and in my early 20s at the end of the 80s. So I was a teenager in the 80s. I wish I was born in earlier than 68. I wish I was born in like 62. That would have made me a little older in the 80s. The disco era, the clothes, the technology, the change from analog to digital. That was an interesting thing. So let me give you the number one thing why I think the 80s were the best was, I'd have to say, shooting myself in the foot here, no digital, no social media, no technology. It was a different time where you had to actually connect with human beings. What the heck is that? It's probably some bread truck or something like that. Anyway, although I embrace technology and I love social media and I enjoy the fun of socializing online with people, there's something to be said about the way it was in the past. You knew where your friends were by the pile of bikes out in front of someone's house. You didn't know what time it was, but when the streetlights came on, you knew it's time to go home. You would make games to play with your friends. You know, we would spend hours just building little Matchbox car tracks and make these cities, and you know, just do things. Excuse me. Pollution's bad these last couple of days. I can tell my nose is all blocked. What else was I had something in my mind and it just slipped my mind. I say it's a funny thing. Most kids today, I mean, you guys on my channel are closer to my age. I don't have a lot of young people on my channel for obvious reasons, but young people, they don't remember the times where the phones were attached to the wall. You know, when we do this, they do this. They go like this because that's how you hold a phone, right? They have a different memory. They never experienced it. Those of you in my generation remember a time when we lived in an analog world. Cassette tapes, 8-track, no remote control for the TV, black and white TV, telegrams. I remember getting telegrams, writing letters. So we grew up in an analog world, and then we moved to a digital world. Like, I remember going from analog to digital. I worked in technology, so that was my business. So let me get back to like why the 80s were the best. The music was pure and it was fun. Like, it was all happy. You know, the pop music, the rock and roll. I was a huge fan of rock and roll. You know, Def Leppard, Chicago, Styx, Steve Winwood, the Eagles, Robbie Robertson. And then pop music, Honeymoon Suite, Platinum Blonde, Duran Duran. Those are the things that I like, the music. I still listen to 80s music. And I still enjoy it a lot. Well, that's church. When I wanna enjoy some music, I'll listen to 80s music or early 2000s house music. Hey guys, Sri Lanka and Sammy, thanks for joining. I want to take a quick moment and talk to you about the channel. I really appreciate you taking the time to support the channel, clicking like, sharing, and commenting. But I need to ask you for a little bit of help and helping me get the channel up and running a little bit better. Please click the link down below if you want to support the channel and buy me a coconut. What I will do is I will match the dollars and I will go out and buy fresh fruit and vegetables from local farmers on the roadside. You guys have seen me do that before. I'll continue doing that by supporting the local economy. Passively, if you would like to, you can just watch a commercial. I am monetized, so if you watch an ad all the way through, a couple, that would really help the channel. And even more so, click the link of the ad and let it pop up on your computer. Leave it open for a few minutes. That would really help the channel passively. And one last thing, if you could please just put a comment, an emoji, one word saying hello, saying hi, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, Happy Vesak, Happy Poya, whatever it is, whenever it is, I truly appreciate it. Sri Lankan Sammy, loving you all. We'll see you all on the other side. Music was a big thing to me in the 80s, not as much now these days, but in the 80s, music was huge. I remember I used to work at Canada's Wonderland, which is a poor man's Disney World in Canada, and I used to carry a huge briefcase full of cassette tapes and my ghetto blaster every time we went to work so that we could play music in the back kitchen. Because I worked in the food service department. So, you know, we would play music all the time. And it was really important because it was a feeling. I still have those feelings. When I hear a certain song, I will recall a memory or a time. The fashion. The fashion was for a teenage boy coming of age. Let me tell you something. The low-rise jeans and the crop top, you know. And one of the things that, you know, I have I don't want to say the word fetish, but one of the things that I fell in love with and I still appreciate today is the school uniforms, because my first girlfriend, the first girl I had a huge crush on, went to the Catholic school next door to my school. So she was always dressed for school when I met her after school, right? So she went to the Catholic high school. In Canada, we have two school systems. We have the public school system and the Catholic school system. And in Canada, you can choose where your property taxes go to. You can choose to support the Catholic school system or the public school system. So the government funds both of those. The TV was better too. I mean, Star Wars had just come out, 1978. I remember I was 8 years old. And 1978, sorry, I was 10 years old. And I remember lining up in 1976. I remember lining up and going to see the first Star Wars. And I still remember that. We had science fiction. I'm a huge science fiction fan. Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica came out. Another thing that I really enjoyed about the 80s was auto racing. Formula One auto racing. I discovered auto racing probably 1978 to 1980. I discovered Formula One auto racing. Because you used to wake up early on Saturday and Sunday mornings, right? Because your body's naturally used to waking up at that time. So I would wake up, and there's nothing on Sunday mornings in those days except religious shows. It's not like TV today. And so Sunday mornings is when they would play the Formula One race because of the time zone difference. So I would watch that, and it got me interested in it. And the race car drivers of those days were just amazing. Keke Rosberg, Alain Prost, the #1 race car driver in the world, Ayrton Senna. Just the names of them were just amazing. They had these really interesting names. So, what else? Entertainment. Going to school was also really fun for me. I was a very sociable person. I lived in a small town. I eventually became student body president. I was president of the ski club. I founded the ski club. I started it and grew into the biggest club, after school club in the school. We started with 6 members and it grew. I mean, it was huge. By the time I left, it was hundreds of members. Because I lived in the northern part of, about an hour north of Toronto, and just an hour away were the ski slopes in Collingwood. So once a week, we would go up to Collingwood and take a ski trip up there. So that was the fond memories I have. Going to, another thing I loved was going to all ages club when I was like 16. They used to have these all ages club, dance club called Club 404 in Newmarket. That's what started me in my, you know, entertainment business path. So I really loved that about my life. I mean, it wasn't an 80s thing, but I was lucky I got to travel. I got to travel to Europe as a teenager, which was a cool thing at the time because the world was a much different place. And I got to meet an incredible amount of people when I went to Portugal. I spent a summer in Portugal and I met people from all over Europe, Belgium, Holland, France, Germany. I remember the fun times I had with my friends there. So my friends in my hometown of Bradford, they were all Portuguese. So they had family homes back in Portugal. So what I was invited to join them for the summer. So I had a place to stay, I had friends to hang out with, and of course the legal drinking age, there is none. So I'm 16 years old and I'm partying on a beach in Portugal, topless. And I have met all these girls from all over the world, and it was an eye-opening experience. Again, it was something that drove my desire to travel. So the 80s developed my love of auto racing, my career path into the entertainment industry, my love for travel. And education as well. Education was important because it was so much fun going to school in those days because it was safe. And the music. That was another thing, the music. So those things really shaped me as a person. And I appreciate the 80s. I got into some adventures. I met, again, for some strange reason, I always meet the right kind of people. A few of my friends were older than me. And I remember I was 18 years old. And of course I have a passport. My parents were always very big on having passports. I don't know why anyone would not have a passport. It's so easy to get. So I had a passport. I think I got my first passport when I was 10, and then I, obviously renewed it when I went to Portugal. But I had a passport, and I was living on my own at that time. So of course, I'm living in Toronto, and I met these guys, and we were hanging out and having fun, and yeah, let's go to New York. Go to New York. Partied at some of the biggest clubs in New York City. I remember those times. It was way, way, way too much fun. The memories are a little foggy because it was, 37 years ago. But those times were... Would I go back? I mean, if I could time travel, yeah, 100% I would go back. But would I wish to go back and re-experience those things? No, because those things are memories, and memories, you should never go back to try to re-experience a memory, because the way your brain works, it only remembers the good things or the traumatic things, right? So if you go back and try to re-experience that positive, and you don't experience the positive, then what happens is it sours the memory. I think maybe some of you have heard the phrase, never meet your heroes, because you'll be disappointed with what is projected in the media versus what is the reality. I mean, you guys have seen those TikTok videos, you know, reality versus expectation versus reality. You go to like those Greek islands with all the buildings and everything like that, and the expectation versus the reality. Or you go to, like, you know, any Instagram photo place that's famous, and the expectation versus the reality. So that's what it is that the reality is that when you go to these, when you try to recover a memory or revisit a memory, you're going to spoil that memory. So I would never go back. I would never go back. I would never try to relive those great times. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for joining me on a busy Saturday morning in Jaela. Wow, what a crazy morning. It's rare for me to come out walking this early in the morning, but here I am. I'm Sri Lankan Sammy, retired with mom and dad. I'm so glad you guys joined me. Please click on the link below, like, share, subscribe, watch an entire commercial, because I am monetized. I would greatly appreciate that. And please make a little comment. It really helps the channel. I appreciate it all. I want to say thanks again, everyone. Lots of love. We'll see you all on the other side.